Here I am back again, continuing season 2 of my annual Halloween special, and this time I'm with my good friend Austin Hornick. And this is one we've been wanting to do for quite a while. Scream. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do this one for a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we at first wanted to do this like around the time we done season 1.
Mm-hmm. We've been wanting to do this for like over a year.
Yeah, and right before we get any farther into the review, I mean, you wanted to like share your experience with this movie as a kid.
Yeah. First time I watched like the first 10 minutes of this movie. As I was going to bed, I got freaked out because someone, like in my window, I saw someone going across my window in the backyard, and I totally freaked out.
Yeah.
And
then it turned out to be your stepdad.
And it turned out to be Eric, my stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the case, I mean, for this movie, I mean, we loved this movie ever since we were kids.
Yes.
And
this was the day, this was, if I remember correctly, this was the day before you and I saw Scream 4 together.
Yeah, we saw Scream 4 in theaters.
Yes.
Yeah. And the first, I mean, the original Scream, it's probably one of our favorite movies directed by Wes Craven. Yeah, I mean, Wes Craven was a legend when it comes to horror. Rest in peace. This was one of his best movies.
If not the best.
Well,
there's also
A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I would say Nightmare on Elm Street might probably be his best movie. I would tie that with Scream. As for the sequels, I mean, Scream 2 I thought was the best of the sequels.
Yeah.
Scream 3 is obviously the worst because I thought Scream 3 was just boring as hell.
Yeah.
Scream 4 was certainly an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a decent movie.
Yeah, but I remember us just having a great experience watching it in theaters.
That's true.
Yeah, but in the case for this movie, the original Scream, the first 13 minutes is suspenseful as hell.
Yeah, it's horror gold in the first 13 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, when we see Drew Barrymore just getting like random calls, and like then right around the third call, right in the middle of the conversation, when the caller tells her like, I want to know who I'm looking at, and she's like, what did you just say? And he's like, I want to know who I'm talking to, and she's like, that's not what you said. But of course she's obviously freaked out. All right, then he calls her again. Then she just like, dude, fuck off, and then hangs up, calls back again. Listen to me, you little bitch. You hang up on me again, I'll cut you like a fish. Yeah. And then shit gets really bad. It turns out that the caller has her boyfriend hostage, and then just does like the movie trivia game. She answers the question, they get it right. And then she gets the first question right. Then with the second question of like, who was the killer on Friday the 13th? She answers Jason, and he's like, sorry, that's the wrong answer.
It was Mrs. Voorhees in the original.
Yeah, Jason's mother, because Jason didn't show up until the sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an actual fact.
Mm-hmm. Just in case anybody hasn't watched any of the Friday the 13th movies.
Spoiled. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, but this review does contain spoilers, so you've been warned. As far as the acting goes in this movie, I've always liked Neve Campbell. I hope I said that right, as Sydney. Mm-hmm. And ever since I watched all those movies back then as a kid, I always thought that back when she did the original movie, the first 3 movies, that she looked like my mom back when she was in her 20s at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, and what can I say about the 3 main actors? They're great. From Neve Campbell to David Arquette and Courtney Cox. They're all perfect in those roles.
I know.
From Sydney to Dewey to Gale.
Yeah, all three of them has pretty good chemistry with one another.
Yeah, and especially with the relationship going on between Dewey and Gale.
Yep.
Their relationship, I thought was really great, especially in the sequels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got married.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah, and
in the franchise.
Yeah, but in real life they sadly divorced sometime after Scream 4.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But and as for the horror aspect, it works pretty good, and it does have like multiple references to like pop culture and other horror films that have come through over the years,
such as Halloween.
Yeah, especially Halloween, and they even play Halloween like in the middle of the film.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
I thought that was so great.
Yeah, I thought that was too, because when it comes to horror, the original Halloween is my favorite horror film of all time.
Definitely.
Yeah, but
absolutely love that film.
Yeah, it's impossible not to, because it's a classic for obvious reasons, and they make references to Halloween. They even show Frankenstein at this I assumed that the place that Randy was working at was Blockbuster.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Rest in peace, Blockbuster.
Yeah, there's only like one Blockbuster left, and
it's
surprises.
In Alaska.
Yeah, and it's like, I miss Blockbuster. It's just, yeah. But
I always went there like once a week.
Yeah, I did the same thing. It was mostly like during the weekends after school.
Yeah, I love Blockbuster.
Yeah, and I remember like one time during it was like during the summer when I went to Blockbuster one time. There's
Barrymore from London.
Not only did I got American Werewolf in London, this was further in the summer where I got all the 4 original Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, and I loved watching them. Except for Superman
4.
Except for Superman 3 and 4, yeah. Yeah, but
it was okay.
Yeah, but I'm getting off the subject here.
Yeah.
But anyway, as for how the comic relief goes, it hands down has to go to Randy, and Jamie Kennedy's performance. I think he's perfect for this role, because his role as Randy is good, but his career has gone downhill in the 2000s, particularly in Son of the Mask, which is a movie that should never be spoken of. Yeah, because the CGI in that film was shit.
That was like a TV movie.
Yeah, it pretty much was.
On Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it basically was that. But in the case of like how everything goes down from the beginning to the end of the film, and when the character is eventually revealed, it's revealed to be they're revealed to be Billy and Stu.
Yep.
Because I like that Wes Craven tries to keep it all a mystery until the very end of the film.
Yeah.
Because he keeps us guessing, because when you watch it for the first time, you start to wonder who it is. Is it Billy? Is it Stu? Is it Randy? It could be anybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. They don't show it until the very end, and we've seen this movie dozens of times. Of course,
dozens.
Yeah, and unless you're so familiar with the film, of course you're gonna know who it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. In the last, in the first 12 minutes, actually the first 13 minutes of the film, right when Drew Barrymore takes off the killer's mask, the camera pans away, so they still try to keep it a secret, because they don't want us to know who the killer is yet, because they still try to keep it secret.
Right.
Yeah, and I can totally respect Wes Craven for making that decision by keeping the killer's identity a secret.
Oh yeah.
Because like we won't know it later until like the end of the film.
Yeah, I thought that was genius that he did that.
Yeah, and everything from like how the killings go and how everything plays out at the end, it was well executed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I thought the ending was the finale was really good.
Yeah, and how Billy and Stu, how they plan to get away with it and everything, especially like their plan was to like frame Sydney's father, because what if their plan was to his wife's the anniversary of his wife's death set him off and he goes on a murder spree killing everybody except for Billy and Stu, because they would leave him for dead, and so they would want the police to think that Sydney's father would kill her and then shoot himself in the head.
Yeah.
And so everything would be set up perfectly.
Yeah. But except for like one major flaw.
Yeah.
The fingerprints on the weapons.
Yeah, that was one thing that they would have to worry about, because fingerprints. Then they got that. They're eventually know that you're the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a few issues there was one issue, like a few issues that I also have. Dewey's sister, Tatum, I thought was generally like very forgettable at best, because she was basically,
there just to be killed.
Despite just her just being there just to be killed, she was Sydney's best friend, and despite that, she was basically just there to get killed.
Oh, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface Killer. I want to be in the sequel.
Spoiler alert, that doesn't happen.
That does not happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she actually delivered that line too.
Yeah, and death by a garage door was a pretty unique kill. I'm not gonna lie about that.
That was pretty creative.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how everything goes out in the finale, and how Sydney outsmarts both Billy and Stu, especially like killing Stu with the TV. I thought that was pretty good.
Gosh, yes.
And right when Gail shoots Billy and they believe that he's dead, and Randy's like, "Be careful. This is the one moment where the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare," and then Billy all of a sudden comes back to life, and then Sydney shoots him in the head. Not in my movie.
Not in my movie.
Yeah. So we still like this movie even to this day. It's one of our favorite horror films. I will admit that it does have some flaw. It has like a few issues, but other than that, we still love this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give Scream an A-.
I give it an A.
Yeah. So, what were your thoughts on Scream? Just let us know in the comment section below. And honestly, I couldn't have done this without you, because we both have so much love for this one. And like I said, we've been wanting to do this one for a while. So if we were gonna review Scream, we were definitely gonna review it for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that we finally did. Yeah. So thank you so much as always for watching, and thank you for helping me with this video.
Oh, no problem. I love this movie.
Yeah, me too. So I'm looking forward to doing more reviews very soon, and if you want news on or my thoughts on old or new movies, you know where to find me.